In the year 2035, advancements in technology led to the creation of a virtual world called Connect. This virtual world was as realistic as the real world, with perfectly natural artificial intelligence non-player characters. It offered fancy swordsmanship and magic that could only be experienced in the game. These unique features attracted over 100 million people into the world of Connect. The scene shifted to a temple where Baidoyan, also known as Crash in the game, was engaged in a fierce battle against a large group of opponents. Let's aim for 200 likes on today's video. To show your support, consider subscribing to the channel. Baidoyan skillfully killed them one by one, instilling fear in all who witnessed his abilities. A knight stepped forward and shouted to his fellow knights, questioning their inaction and urging them to charge at Baidoyan. The knights, driven by their loyalty to the Empire, started moving towards Baidoyan to attack him, shouting, "Death to the Empire's enemy." At that moment, a window popped up displaying information about Baidoyan, revealing his ranking as 13th in Connect and his class as a psychokinetic. Baidoyan utilized his psychokinetic skill to manipulate the nearby swords and eliminate the approaching enemies. The knight then ordered the archers to fire arrows at Baidoyan. However, he swiftly used his psychokinetic ability once again to stop the arrows midair and redirect them towards the knight. The arrows hit many knights, causing some to die and others to sustain serious injuries. Baidoyan then proceeded to swiftly dispatch the injured knights using his dagger. The remaining knights, filled with anger, expressed their frustration with Baidoyan's overpowering skill in psychokinesis. However, their anger soon turned into confusion as they witnessed a large number of swords floating in the air. Baidoyan, once again utilizing his psychokinetic ability, controlled the swords and directed them towards the remaining knights, killing them all. After the bloody battle came to an end, Baidoyan moved forward towards the temple, muttering to himself, "Shit, where is it?" Suddenly, he noticed a cough coming from a nearby high priest. The high priest remarked, "In the end, this is it." Baidoyan looked at the high priest's locket and exclaimed, "That's it, his search is over." Meanwhile, the priest informed Baidoyan that God had foretold the arrival of saviors to this world. Baidoyan advanced, attempting to seize the locket from the priest's chest. However, the priest grabbed the hand of Baidoyan, exclaiming, "Why are there only fighters here, outsider? Why did you bring chaos to this world? Why did you burn the cities, kill the innocents, and enslave the people here?" Baidoyan forcefully freed his hand, snatching the locket, and retorted, "Old man, don't blame me. Blame the guild that colluded with the Empire." In that moment, Baidoyan noticed new members arriving at the scene and muttered, "Shit, the guild's latecomers are here." He swiftly moved inside the building. Meanwhile, the priest warned, "Don't forget, everything will be as God has intended," and declared angrily, "All of you will pay for what you've done." Baidoyan then used the locket that he had snatched from the priest to open a hidden underground room. As he descended the stairs, he pondered to himself, according to the intel, these should be the very first mythical items in Connect. 5 years ago, major guilds colluded with the Empire and destroyed the world. Everything he did for the last 6 months was for this. An NPC lamenting is nothing. The major guilds took control of Connect, and he is the only solo player left in the top 100. Let's take them before they get here. If they find out he obtained these items first, the guilds will be very upset. Excellent. Let's leave this place. He discovered a game cartridge and wondered why it was there. Abruptly, he experienced a sharp pain in his head. Baidoyan exclaimed, "Connection error. How did this happen?" Upon opening his eyes, he realized he had been stabbed. An internal lament echoed, "Damn it. Things were going too smoothly in Connect." Confronted by a group of individuals in black suits, one of them questioned his agitated movements, urging him to meet his end peacefully. Internally, Baidoyan condemned them, thinking, "I didn't expect them to escalate things to this extent in the real world. These people are despicable." Contacting their boss, one of them relayed, We have him. Do you want us to bring him alive? The boss, issuing instructions over the phone. In response, he said, "Yes, understood." Another inquired about the command, receiving the response, "Kill him. The boss only wants us to bring his head." Captured by a ruthless group willing to kill over a game, Baidoyan pleaded for mercy, but the captors were unforgiving. Ordered to cover his face, he internally resisted, thinking, "No way. Killing people over a game. These people are insane. Is this how I'm going to die?" Suddenly, a voice urged him to wake up. Opening his eyes, he was astonished to find himself alive, pondering, "What just happened? I thought I died after being stabbed." The attending maid queried, "Are you okay, Sir Raoul?" Confused, Baidoyan wondered, "Raoul, is that her status level?" Concerned, the maid asked, "You've broken into a cold sweat. Should I call a doctor?" Baidoyan reflected, "What? I feel like I'm witnessing something I shouldn't be able to." A system window displayed information. The soul has settled in. Activating Connect's closed beta system. You can now use the user interface. Current number of users: 1. Baidoyan muttered, "User, are you kidding me? That means this is inside the world of Connect." Raoul contemplated within himself, sensing a profound connection. It differed significantly from his link with Crash. The strength in the game was determined by the level of connection one had with Connect. While normal players usually achieved around 30% synchronization, Baidoyan boasted close to 90%. Baidoyan had maintained his top-ranking status for a decade, until the emergence of major guilds. Unfortunately, Raoul no longer inhabited that body and felt a sense of misfortune, considering the considerable time invested in its leveling up. However, recognizing the closed beta status and the solitary user, he pondered if he was the sole individual currently utilizing this system in the world. Realizing he could still access his inventory even in the closed beta, the window displaying information scanned his user's details and detected locked user information, subsequently updating it. This information flowed into his mind. Determined to ascend to the pinnacle once more, Raoul resolved to leverage the knowledge and powers from his past life. He identified himself as Raoul Ashton, the youngest son of Ashton, the fifth Count of the Reuben Kingdom. Ashton County, the first to fall in Connect, belonged to one of Reuben Kingdom's orthodox families. Amidst family tragedies and a monster invasion, Raoul, the youngest son, inherited the county. Anticipating the impending ruin of the beautiful city in 3 years, Raoul, driven by a desire to prevent this fate, acknowledged that he no longer possessed the lives of Baidoyan or Crash. This opportunity was his last chance, and having endured hardships in his previous life as Baidoyan, he couldn't afford to let it slip away. The only viable path to prevent the impending downfall was to grow stronger. A month later, the traditional coming-of-age ceremony of Ashton Count was approaching. Success in the semi-finals would secure Raoul's entry into Kingdom Academy, where he aimed to grow stronger and safeguard his life. Confused about his fatigue after a few swings, a window revealed his information as Level 5 Raoul. Puzzled by his level compared to a mate to levels lower, he resolved to train for the upcoming tournament. On the tournament day, observing the numerous participants, Raoul realized he would face formidable opponents. Reflecting on the past month's challenges, he noted his increased level to 13. Feeling well prepared and confident in his stamina and match plan, an attempted surprise attack interrupted his thoughts. Dodging the attack, Raoul discovered the assailant to be Diane, his cousin and the second son of Uncle Viscount Austin. Recalling Diane's past bullying during swordsmanship training, Raoul regarded him as a scoundrel who preyed on the weaker. Diane warned Raoul to withdraw from the tournament, threatening severe harm. Raoul, determined to crush Diane in the finals, vowed to stand firm. In the evening, the butler relayed, "Sir, this is the report for the tournament today." Count Melvin Ashton, Raoul's father, directed the butler, "Hand it over." "Was there anyone useful?" The butler responded, "About that, Raoul qualifies." Inquisitive, Count Melvin inquired, "Where's Roll now?" The butler replied, "Sir, Roll went back to his room after finishing his meal. I think he used up all his strength during the qualifier, and went back to rest." Count Melvin nodded and said, "Okay, you may go." After the butler exited the room, Count Melvin burst into laughter, exclaiming, "He is my son, he really made it. He made it to the group stage." He continued, "I never forced him to learn how to wield a sword because he was weaker than his brothers. But then he started training a month before the tournament. At first, he fell down after 10 minutes, but he never gave up. I knew he was bullied during the training because of his weak body, but if I helped, he would be shamed for being unable to do anything without my help. I had to wait till he stood up for himself, but this is way past my expectations. When the finals are over, I should go see him." On the day of the group stage final, a person from the audience shouted, "What are you doing?" Another person added, "Make it fun. Stop dragging it out and end him." Edmund, lost in thought, muttered to himself, "Shit, this weakling. Why is he not falling?" Edmund resumed his sword attacks, but Roll adeptly blocked each strike. Frustrated, Edmund exclaimed, "Just go down," and launched a forceful swing, causing Roll to stagger backward slightly. The audience was taken aback by Roll's resilience, commenting to each other, "Look, he took his attack again. How many times does this make it? He's been holding out for quite a while now." They began shouting, "You got this, third son." This only fueled Edmund's anger. He taunted Roll, saying, "You rat, you can't run away forever. Are you not ashamed as a member of a count's family?" In response, Roll nonchalantly replied, "I can't really hear you." Someone from the audience shouted, "End him, Edmund. You've dragged it out long enough. I bet my salary on you." Unfazed, Roll standing still, while Edmund declared, "I'm done messing around. I'm ending this," and unleashed his mana sword. The audience was shocked by his decision. One exclaimed about the mana sword, while another warned, "You have to dodge that. If you get hit by that." Edmund moved towards Roll with his mana sword, but to his surprise, Roll decided to take the attack head-on this time. When their swords collided, an explosion occurred, leaving the audience tense. After the dust settled, the match referee, positioned between Edmund and Roll, announced, "The match is over. The winner is Roll." The audience erupted, shouting, "The third son won." "There's no way." Meanwhile, Edmund protested to the referee, saying, "I can't accept it. How's he the winner? If you hadn't stopped me," the referee sternly told Edmund. "How foolish. Look at your neck. If I hadn't stopped the match, you would be dead by now." Edmund, realizing the danger, fell to the ground in fear. Approaching Edmund, Roll stated, "I'll have to talk to you about your disrespect towards the county after the tournament," intensifying Edmund's fear. In the evening, Roll returned to his room, and the maid at the door said, "Rest well, sir." When Roll found himself alone, he burst into laughter and exclaimed, "Holy shit, I actually won." Opening the status window revealed the following information. Level up. Ashton's swordsmanship mastery has elevated to beginner level 9. Reflecting on his success, Roll thought, the plan worked. Using the game's feature where I get more experience and mastery by fighting against stronger opponents. Fighting against a stronger opponent for longer gave me more experience. This plan only worked because my game mode gives me an experience multiplier for taking away the revive. A hardcore mode. High risk, high return. I did complain at first. The status shows Roll information, including his name, level, class, affiliation title, and stats. Roll has 5 unique traits, but out of 5, 3 can't be seen due to his low level. Contemplating on his rate of leveling, Roll reflected, "I wouldn't have been able to level up this much in a month if I was in normal mode. Best of all, I have 5 unique traits. Psychokinetic Meister is a trait that Baiduin had, and Royal Lineage is a trait that Roll possesses. The rest of them will unlock as I level up. Let's try using this on the next tournament matches." Subsequently, Raoul effortlessly won 3 more matches in a row, leaving the audience astounded. They exchanged comments, with some saying, "The youngest son actually made it to the grand finale. How could this be possible? He's just lucky." One person speculated, "Maybe he's using some kind of a trick." Another responded, "Impossible." Meanwhile, Raoul thought to himself, "Connect civilians in the early stages don't know about the powers that the players have. It'd probably be better to keep it a secret that I can use psychokinesis until the players show up. I can surely hide it with my acting skills." The butler outside Raoul's room announced, "Sir, it's Ivan." Raoul welcomed, "Come in." The butler inquired, "Are you hurt anywhere?" Raoul assured the butler, "I'm perfectly fine. Even if I get hurt, there's a priest and a healer on standby." The butler advised, "Still, don't let your guard down. Remember, there are wounds that can't be healed." Raoul acknowledged, "Okay, I'll be careful." Internally, Raoul thought, "He's really worried about me. I can't get used to it since I've never felt like this in my past life." Turning to the butler, Raoul inquired, "What about the thing I asked for?" The butler responded, "I did as you asked." "Are you sure about that? Sir Dian is a strong opponent." Raoul reassured, "Don't worry about it. I will win." The butler replied, "I trust you, sir. I'll leave now." While exiting the room, the butler reflected, "His confidence matches the Count's when he was younger. But the final opponent is Sir Dian. He brutally wounds whoever he goes against." Simultaneously, Raoul contemplated, "How much is this, Ashton County's betting system?" The county created a legal betting system for the tournament's success, and the bets also go to the participants. This is enough to ensure my place in the family. The only thing left is to crush him," the referee announced, "and now, the final match begins." People rallied behind Raoul, shouting phrases like, "You got this, youngest. Be ready to get challenged by Dian. Win with your skill this time, Raoul, Raoul." In response, Dian addressed Raoul, "Hey, weakling. I don't know how you made it this far, but I'll make sure that you consider it your worst decision to come up here. People cheering you will soon find out how worthless you are. It'll be a nice view when you start crawling with your limbs cut off." Raoul, unfazed, yawned and provocatively asked Dian, "Are you done stretching your tongue?" This only fueled Dian's anger, and he retorted, "You arrogant expletive," while enveloping his entire body with mana. Observing the intense mana, the audience remarked, "His mana's overwhelming. Raoul's no match for him." Meanwhile, Raoul thought to himself, "He's acting all tough." Glancing at Dian's status window, the status window displays information: name, Dian, level, 42, class, expert knight sword user, affiliation, Austin Viscounty, title, Ashton Viscounty star, sword genius, stats, potential talent grade B, strength 52, agility 41, stamina 43, intelligence 18, willpower 14, mana 32, senses 21. Raoul continued his thoughts. His potential talent is only B. He may look impressive now, but this is his limit. The referee announced, "Match begins." Dian, filled with anger, said to Raoul, "I'll kill you, coward." He moved forward to attack, but was surprised by Raoul, who leaped in the air to strike Dian. Attempting to block Raoul's sword attack, Dian was pushed back. Someone from the audience shouted, "Sir Raoul strikes first." Dian, frustrated, said to Raoul, "You expletive showing off." Raoul pondered, "His elasticity is below my expectations. His strength is also, whatever." Dian exclaimed, "Why can't I hit you?" While continuing his thoughts, Raoul reflected, "I can see his sword clearly. A sword skill without any practical experience. A generic nobleman's sword." Raoul was bullied by this guy. Dian angrily said to Raoul, "You expletive, you tripped me. I will expletive kill you." Raoul thought to himself, the only thing he knows is Mana's sword with all that mana flowing through his body. The audience was shocked by Raoul's swordsmanship when he caused Dian to drop his sword. Raoul remarked to Dian, boring, "You are really nothing after all." In anger, Dian moved towards his sword to pick it up but was tripped by Roll again. Roll said to Dian, anger issues and repeatedly falling for the same trick. Look at you. What a shame on Viscounty Austin's name. Dian angrily shouted, I'll kill you, and attempted to attack Roll barehanded, only to receive a punch to the face that caused him to fall to ground unconscious. The audience, witnessing this, couldn't believe their eyes. Roll turned to the referee and said, the opponent is down. Are you going to continue the match? The referee announced, the winner of the Ashton Coming of Age tournament, Roll Ashton. The audience cheered, saying, young master, I believed in you. Roll. Roll thought to himself, I'm happy I won. But this awful stamina. The referee said, young master, and called for the healer quickly. At that moment, a window popped up showing information about the Coming of Age tournament quest. Coming of Age tournament. Quest completed. Check the reward. Quest. Coming of Age tournament. Grade D+. Objective. Make it to the semi-final in the Coming of Age tournament. Extra rewards depend on the final place. Result. Tournament champion completed. Reward. Experience. 300 coins player shop. Random skill book grade E or lower. Extra reward. Extra experience. 5 grade D stat points. Random skill book grade D or lower. Roll thought to himself, nice. Quest completed. Now I can make it to Kingdom Academy. Butler Ivan expressed to Count Melvin, I am so proud of the young master. He grew that much in a month. Count Melvin contemplated. He played around with Dian. If he really got that far in a month, he's a genius. But in that moment, Roll noticed his father and waved his hand. Roll thought, he was watching. He probably knows that I'm good enough to go to the academy now. At night, when he went to his father's room, Count Melvin said, I can't allow it. Roll questioned, why? I thought I could go as long as I made it to the semi-finals. Count Melvin explained, that's situational. From what I see, Roll, you need to stay by my side longer. You fell after the match. Stay here a little more, and Roll interrupted, asserting, learning about the sword is a lifelong journey. Didn't you always say that? I'm trying to go to the academy to learn more. Just like you said, you can't stop me. Count Melvin, taken aback by his confidence, thought to himself, he has really grown. Count Melvin stood up and said, okay, fine. If you really want to go, you'll have to get past me. I won't go easy on you, son. He then asked Roll, what are you going to do now? A month later, Roll, with a sign of relief, found himself finally out. Roll recalled the memory of his past month. When his father stopped him, he accepted the decision and just charged at Count Melvin. Count Melvin challenged, is this all you got, son? I'll show you a real sword skill. Roll thought to himself, I passed out from his strike. He said it was just a sneak peek of what he had, but that was definitely his full strength. This powerful 5th County Lord dies by the time the World of Connect starts, and after that, the county falls quickly. In order to stop the fall, Father has to stay alive. I'll have to meet his expectations since he let me leave. I'll get stronger and protect my family. I can't lose it all. Meanwhile, seeing through his window, Count Melvin observes Roll leaving, thinking to himself about that kid. He recalls the memory when he told Roll to give up, asking how many times he had tried. In response, Roll said he would never give up. Count Melvin complimented Roll's persistence. Yes, that's worthy of the Ashton family's dignity. Come, strike me. Surprised by the trajectory of Roll's sword changing midway, Roll thought to himself, I can only leave a small wound even with psychokinesis. Acknowledging that it's about time to admit that Roll is no longer a kid, but a proud swordsman, Count Melvin pondered to himself, go, Roll, go and witness the world. At night, as they gathered near the fire to rest, Roll inquired of Sir Philip about their distance to the destination. The status window displayed details about Philip, a 42-year-old high knight. affiliated with Ashton County and the Golden Bear Order, bearing the title Swordbreaker. Philip, with a level of 92 and grade S potential talent. Philip responded by saying at this speed, "We will make it in 5 days. Should we move faster?" Raoul, considering the soldiers' training, replied, "No, we need to train the soldiers as well. Let's keep going at this speed." Philip acknowledged, and Raoul, reflecting, noted that his family had selected a total of 50 individuals, including 3 regular knights, 6 trainee knights, 15 trainees, and 20 cavalry, all possessing grade B or higher potential talent. Recognizing the need for strength to prevent the fall of Ashton family, Raoul emphasized the importance of everyone getting stronger. At that moment, Jake approached Raoul and addressed him, saying, "Young master, the maintenance for the carriage is completed. We can get going whenever." Raoul responded, "Okay, good work." Jake questioned the need to bring so many people to the destination for a month. Philip intervened, telling Jake to stop questioning the young master's orders. Raoul asserted, "You'll know when you get there. The reason I'm taking you guys there." The destination was Free City Mira, one of the first cities players visit after finishing the tutorial. This city was rich in quests, hidden items, and had mana usage limitations to prevent unreasonable beginner-player massacres. Most of all, the resources are infinite, so the players went crazy about this place. God's Domain, a place full of monsters for players to grind. The God's Domain is the reason why Raoul brought everyone to this city. The purpose was to expedite the soldiers leveling up in the grinding zone. A perfect plan. A window popped up, displaying updated system information. The system introduced a new feature, Connect Community, and unlocked a new category, Guild. Additionally, new quests, Staring Line of Adventure and Skill Collector, were registered. Observing this, Raoul thought to himself, "Wow, a new quest as soon as I entered Mira. I thought I wouldn't be able to use any other features until the official launch. Nice, maybe I can unlock more features if I meet the requirements." His thoughts were interrupted by Jake, saying, "Sir Raoul, you can meet the mayor right now." "What would you like to do?" Raoul responded, "Of course, I'll meet him." The mayor of Free City Mira, Reynaldo, inquired of his butler, "Who's here?" The butler replied, "The youngest son of County Ashton, Raoul Ashton. He has come to visit with 50 of his people." Reynaldo, aware of Raoul being the third son known for being weak, questioned, "What is he here for?" "Fresh air. Let them in. His family makes good money off monster materials. I'll rip some money off this kid." The butler acknowledged, understood. A little later, the door opened, and Raoul greeted Mayor Reynaldo. The mayor responded, "Welcome, Sir Raoul. I sincerely welcome you to the Free City, Mira." Raoul expressed his gratitude, and Reynaldo suggested, "Let's sit over there and talk." Privately, Raoul thought, "What a weasel. What an obvious fake smile." Reynaldo then asked, "So, Sir Raoul, what brought you to Mira?" Raoul replied, "I heard there's an excellent place to train here." Reynaldo affirmed, "Of course there is. You came to the perfect place. Mira is the safest place to train." Raoul asserted, "It can't be an ordinary place. I would like to be permitted to enter the cursed forest." With a hint of nervousness, Reynaldo inquired, "What, cursed forest? It's too dangerous, especially for weaklings like I meant for younger people." Raoul responded, "As I expected. Then I guess I have no choice. I guess I have to throw away the 500,000 golds that I was going to give you as gratuity in the river." Reynaldo exclaimed, 500,000 golds, Sir Raoul, I was joking. The cursed forest would be easy for you and your knights. I give you permission to enter the forest." Raoul said, "I knew a generous mayor like you would permit us." Privately, Raoul thought to himself, "Now, the only thing left to do is grind and take all the rewards. I'll be at the top of Connect soon." The city known as Mirror was designed as a hub for connecting players in their virtual lives. In this closed beta phase, there are no inhabitants except for one individual, Raoul Ashton. This unique circumstance has plunged the city into a crisis, given its extensive infrastructure of accommodations, large stores, guild buildings, and various facilities, all disproportionate to its current population. Land prices have plummeted as a result. Raoul Ashton's true motive for being in Mirror is real estate acquisition, aiming to secure affordable land that will later be developed into luxury houses for nobles, guild houses for players, and apartments for regular players. He anticipates a substantial increase in land value in the future, particularly when players join and conflicts arise, akin to the remembered past. Mirror, once a city blessed by the gods, becomes an ideal refuge during times of war. Raoul Ashton acknowledges that merely leasing land, as was profitable in the past, is insufficient. Given the impending war and potential risks, he is determined to be even more prepared this time. In a defiant stance against major guilds, he expresses confidence that this venture will differ from his past life, where he couldn't contend with their financial prowess. Jake inquired of Raoul, "So, I just have to sign right here?" Raoul, in a loud voice, responded, "Yes, everyone has signed except you. Just sign right here." Jake expressed caution, stating, "But my mom told me to be careful when signing papers." The girl confirmed, including Sir Raoul, a total of 51. Creating and registering for the guild first is complete. Raoul pondered to himself, "I created the first guild in a world without players. The very first and most advanced guild, first. They will get assistance from the system as members of the guild. I'm excited to see the confused look on their faces." At the Battle Association Mirror branch office, Raoul announced, "I'm next." The girl at the reception welcomed him, asking, "How may I help you?" Raoul stated, "I'm here to see some skill books." "What's the highest rank you have here?" Skill books are books with different skills written in them. If one reads attentively, the skill can be acquired. The skill ranks range from rank F to rank S. The representative mentioned, "Our branch office offers up to rank C skill books, but rank C skill books can only be purchased by VIP customers." Raoul inquired, "What are the requirements to be a VIP?" She explained, "Either through contributing to the association through quests, or stacking up purchases." "But for stacking up purchases, you'd have to spend a lot." Raoul further queried, "How much?" She responded, 10,000 golds, sir." Raoul remarked, "That's not much." "Here, can I see the D rank ones first?" she asked. "Which line of skill books would you like to see first? Sword, bow magic, or shield?" Raoul replied, "All of them." Shortly after, Jake commented, "Too heavy. Sir Raoul, do we really need all these books?" Raoul responded, "You may think it's a bother now, but those books will advance you to a higher level." Jake acknowledged, "I guess they are well descriptive skill books, but can't you only train through books at the beginner level?" Philip chimed in, "I agree. We could have bought power armor with the money spent on these books." Raoul assured them, "You will know tomorrow. Don't worry and be patient." In the room, Raoul contemplated, "Maybe it is too much." There were limits on the number of skills players could use, so normally, players couldn't use various skills. He instructed, "Quest window." Raoul further reflected, "When I woke up in Raoul's body, there were 2 unknown items in the inventory. I can't click them or use them. But then, yesterday, when I got the quest, I was finally able to use those items. I found out that one of them was sealed skill dex. What if the reward for this quest is the skill dex's activation?" On the information window displaying the quest skill collector, quest, skill collector grade, and known objective, collect at least 10 skill books and register them in the skill dex. Extra rewards will be awarded depending on the type of skill books. Reward, skill dex activation. Extra reward, unlocks trait unknown, acquires skill unknown. Raoul muttered, "So I have to open the dex and hold the skill book. then said, "Register." The dex page moved on its own, and a purple light from the skill book moved towards the dex, displaying the first skill on the dex. "Roll!" exclaimed. It worked, and thought to himself, "The sliver of mana, and the book is gone. It's going to take forever to do them all." He asked himself, is there a way to register them all at once? Suddenly, all the skill books started floating in the air. Purple lights emerged for each skill book, hitting the decks. Raoul pondered. What? Does it understand what I said? I guess. It worked. System window appeared, displaying information. Quest. Skill collector quest completed. Check the rewards. Skill Dex Rare has been activated. Extra reward trait Skill Collector Grade X has been unlocked. Extra reward Copycat Grade S has been acquired. Another window provided details about the collector skill, Grade X, effect, activation of Skill Dex. Skill Copycat slightly increases the chance of acquiring skills from a skill book. Copycat Grade S Mastery, Beginner Level 3, effect, steals skills from the examined opponent. Examined skills are registered in the dex. As mastery goes up, you can acquire higher ranked skills, and the power of the skills increases. Current copyable rank, B. Raoul exclaimed, "This is overpowered. I can steal and use someone else's skill." A system window appeared, presenting information about the skill dex, grade, rare, status, upgradable, bounded, description, replica of the mythic item skill dex that holds records of ancient skills. Records reset while crossing dimensions. It will regain its true power after achieving special requirements. Currently recorded skills, 525 skills. Raoul thought to himself, I knew it. This is the mythical item I got right before I died. Some parts of my past life, like my psychokinesis trait and items, came with me, but my skills were reset, and it's a replica too. The only thing left is 3 grade X traits and 1 item in the inventory. I wonder what kind of power it holds. The following morning, all members of Raoul's first guild found themselves confused, while see a system window, leading them to exclaimed, What is this status window? What is this thing called guild chat? Priest, I need to go see a priest. Meanwhile, Butler Bernard greeted Raoul, saying, Welcome, young master. Raoul, reflecting on his sleepless night spent reading through the skill decks, said, Good morning, Bernard. Did you explain it to them? Bernard replied, Yes, I explained as you instructed. Excitedly, Raoul asked, How about the skill book? Have you tried it? Internally, Raoul thought, This man's name is Bernard, Ashton's family's servant and even stepson. He has been working for the county from a young age and was taught by Ivan himself. He has a great memory and gets things done quickly. But there's another reason why I chose Bernard. He has the power to control the wind. Raoul then exclaimed, Amazing, I knew you could do it, Bernard. In response, Bernard modestly said, I am flattered. The status window displayed the following information. Name, Bernard, age 27 years. Level, 21. Class, Servant, Beginner Windwalker. Affiliation, Ashton County, First Guild. Talents, Administration, Management, Wind, Power. Stats, Potential Talent Grader, Strength 17, Agility 18, Stamina 24, Intelligence 53, Willpower 46, Spiritual Power 23, Senses 41, Unique Traits, Sharp Manager Grader, Cold-Headed Grade B, like the Wind Grade B. Raoul continued his thoughts, noting, he lacks stats but has great talent for being a servant or an esper. I'm done with my preparations. Raoul then instructed Bernard, saying, Get ready. Confused, Bernard asked, Yes, sir, what for? Raoul explained, We are leaving as soon as the knights are used to it, to God's domain, the Cursed Forest. In the Cursed Forest, an ogre targeted Raoul with its weapon, but he skillfully dodged the attack by leaping into the air. Roll taunted the ogre, saying, to slow, and countered with a powerful fist, demolishing the ogre's head with a single punch. Following the encounter, Roll confidently declared, come out already. Suddenly, a large group of ogres surrounded Roll, shouting, human, strong, kill the human. The ogre chief commanded, everyone, charge together and kill the human. All the ogres rushed from various directions to attack Roll. However, Roll stood firm, challenging them. Bring it on. In the cursed forest, God's domain. The term God's domain encompasses more than just a grinding zone. It represents the entirety of the city of Mirror. For players, the city functions as a haven where injuries are healed, and if they perish, they revive within this blessed city. This unique feature makes Mirror the ultimate shelter. However, within the forest, this blessing, exclusive to monsters, maintaining a consistent number even after being defeated. Humans cannot be revived in the cursed forest, and attempting to carry items acquired from hunting monsters outside the forest results in their transformation into ashes and disappearance. This emphasizes the prohibition of touching the property of the gods, although this restriction solely applies to civilians. Players, on the other hand, can take items obtained from monsters outside the forest with the assistance of the system. Intrigued by the power, the ogre chief asked, what is that power? Human. Roll, utilizing his trait psychokinesis, swiftly dispatched the ogre chief, stating, this is psychokinesis. Jake commented, what a convenient ability, prompting Philip to urge, stop talking, and keep skinning the ogres. Jake expressed reluctance, saying, I didn't come all the way to Mirror to do this. I guess we've made good progress from this training, Sir Roll. Roll laughed and graciously acknowledged, thank you. It was possible because of everyone's help. All of you can get stronger by studying the skill books. Philip acknowledged, he's right, recalling a memory when he used a skill to instantly defeat an ogre. Roll inquired, how's that? That's why I bought skill books instead of power armor. Philip expressed amazement. In the present moment, Philip thought to himself, I learned a skill so quickly. How did the young master find out about this strange ability? Checking the guild chat, he became shocked and exclaimed, young master. In the guild chat, Roll responded, I saw too. We are going back to Mirror now. Simultaneously, in the Free City Mirror, Randall Visconti's first son, Ramon, shouted, I should have done this earlier. It was hard holding myself back after seeing you Ashton kids walking around. Randall Visconti's second son, Jerry, admonished Ramon, saying, you should have listened to me earlier, brother, then we could have done this way sooner. One of the injured knights questioned their actions, asking, why are you doing this? Randall Visconti's third son, Cale, pondered, but didn't great-grandfather tell us to be mindful? We're all here because we made a scene. A knight warned them, you will regret this. Our young master will take his, but was abruptly silenced as Ramon used his sword to kill the knight. Ramon urgently shouted, please tell him to hurry up. We also have some business with that young master, anyway. This is strange, they keep reviving. Jerry proposed, let's take care of this Roll kid like this. Cale reminded them, I thought noble families weren't supposed to point swords at each other in the Free City. Ramon dismissed the concern, asking, what's the matter? We can just say we never did it. What are they going to do about it? If you think about it, this is good. We can just crush the Ashton family. Maybe great-grandfather will even compliment us. At that moment, Raymond's head burst, leaving Cale nervously exclaiming, brother. They turned their attention backward, only to find Roll standing behind them in anger. Roll declared, how dare you? This offense towards the Ashton County. You will have to pay back with more than just your worthless deaths. Jerry exclaimed to Roll, are you crazy? How dare you touch a son of the Randall family? Cale questioned, what are the knights doing? How did he even get here? A knight from the Randall family speculated, I think they're the Ashton family's main force. Philip reported to Roll, saying, "We've surrounded the Randall Knights as you ordered, young master. We also made sure there were no civilians nearby." Roll acknowledged, "Good work, everyone." Utilizing his psychokinesis trait, he lifted all 3 injured knights of Ashton and instructed Bernard, saying, "Take them to the shrine." Bernard responded, "Yes, sir." Then Roll extracted his sword from his inventory, asserting, "I'll clean the garbage myself." The Randall Viscounty, akin to the Ashton County, belonged to the 5 warrior families of the Reuben Kingdom. However, in contrast to the Ashton family, the Randall family lacked an extensive history. The consolidation of the 4 warrior families into the 5 warrior families occurred when the current Lord, Viscount Hudson Randall, reached the Swordmaster stage. As a family with a short history, they had to devise various strategies to secure their position, consistently producing great knights, making respectable contributions, and overpowering their opponents. Their target was the Ashton County, which had lost its influence due to the absence of a swordmaster for an extended period. Agitating the Ashton family posed no risks, considering they were the least politically inclined. Numerous conflicts between the 2 families unfolded across the kingdom, with most initiated by the Randall family. The prevailing expectation was that Randall Viscounty would emerge victorious, considering their abundance of sword masters. The people of Randall were thinking the same would happen here. Jerry contemplated. What is that unusual strength? He pulled out a sword from the air. Meanwhile, Roll approached Jerry, prompting a Randall knight to attempt unsheathing his sword. Roll swiftly noticed and immediately dispatched the knight with his sword, instilling fear in the other Randall knights. Philip conveyed, "Young master said he would take care of them himself." "Everyone, put down your swords." Jeremy thought to himself, "They are really putting away their swords. Are they insane? I mean, it's better for us." Cale shouted, "You are going to fight us by yourself. This isn't training." As Cale attempted to attack Raoul, he swiftly cut him in half. Jerry addressed the Randall Knights, exclaiming, "You bastards! What are you guys doing just standing over there?" The knights turned towards Jeremy, who stepped forward, stating, "I guess I have to do it. I stood there because I didn't want to bully a 15-year-old kid. But if I don't act when my comrades are going down, it's not right." A window displaying Jeremy's status information popped up. Name: Jeremy, age 37 years. Level: 65. Class: Leader of God Knights, Beginner Sword Expert. Affiliation: Randall Viscounty, Randall Knights. Stats: Potential Talent Grade B, Strength 66, Agility 72, Stamina 68, Intelligence 48, Willpower 63, Mana 70, Senses 55, Unique Traits, Brutality Grade C. Jeremy instructed his knights to get ready. Roll reflected, Randall family's main weapon, Reaper. I guess those are the elites. Meanwhile, Jeremy and 3 other knights formed a formation to attack Raoul. Continuing his thoughts, Roll noted, the leader's level is 65, and the other elites are also in their 60s. My current level is 45. I can't win against them normally. 2 of the front knights addressed Raoul, with one saying, "Why don't you stop now? I think you did enough." The other added, "We let you be, but no more. Don't care even if you're a young master." To their surprise, Raoul rushed towards them and swiftly eliminated one knight. Employing the bear strike skill, he created an opening and successfully took down the other knight. Jeremy advanced and attacked Raoul, who skillfully blocked the attack, but causing Raoul to be pushed backward. Concerned, Jeremy inquired of the remaining standing knight, "Are you okay?" The knight affirmed, "Yes, I'm fine." Jeremy thought to himself, 2 of my elites went down just like that. I heard he was weak and didn't know how to wield a sword. He then pulled out a dagger, now equipped with a reaper in one hand and a dagger in the other, stating to Raoul, "You're different from the rumors. I'll have to get serious now." Meanwhile, unfazed, Raoul responded, "Bring it on." Roll pondered to himself, a parrying dagger and a reaper. Is he using Randall Viscounty's sword skill shooting star? Jeremy, feeling a bit nervous, remarked to Roll, I like your bravery, but you know that every wound is healed in Mira, right? You can't fight us all alone. In reply, Roll stated, I think you are the one confused. I bet you and your knights didn't even train after arriving in Mira. Jeremy was taken aback by Roll's remark and thought to himself, how did he know? His contemplation was interrupted when Roll responded, how did I know? Those soldiers over there, shaking in their boots even after their wounds have healed, are living proof. They are not used to death. Inwardly, Jeremy reflected, this guy, he doesn't just know about combat. He can see through everything. He's a threat. Jeremy instructed the knight, cover me from the back. The knight confidently responded, leave it to me, sir. Following this, Jeremy hurriedly advanced to attack Raoul, who prepared himself to block the assault. However, he found himself pushed backward by the combined attacks of both Jeremy and the knight, resulting in numerous cuts across his body. Seizing an opening in Raoul's defense, the knight broke formation and rushed to attack, only to be swiftly killed by Raoul in a single swing of his sword. Jeremy, in his thoughts, considered, he is a fool, shit, there's no time to waste, and promptly utilized his skill, Randall Sword Vision Shooting Star. Observing the situation, Raoul thought to himself, bring it, I will take you head on. As expected, it is a powerful skill known for its 1 versus 1 combat prowess. I'm struggling even with psychokinesis. I have to keep up. Meanwhile, Jeremy reflected, how? I'm definitely dominating this fight. I've pressed him all the way back. So then, and shouted, what's up with those arrogant eyes? Raoul responded with 100%, leaving Jeremy confused about its meaning. In the midst of this, he was attacked by Raoul, causing both his sword and dagger to be dropped. At that moment, a window popped up, displaying information. Opponent's skill examination has been 100% completed. Copycat is ready for use. Copy the exact moves using Copycat to engrave the skill into the dex. Raoul utilized his trait Psychokinesis to control both the dagger and sword of Jeremy, leaving Jeremy visibly shocked. Another window appeared, presenting information. Copycat, activate skill, Randall Sword Skill Shooting Star Grade B. Raoul instructed the system to activate it and employed the Shooting Star skill to attack Jeremy. Confused, Jeremy thought to himself, how? This is definitely Shooting Star. Jeremy shouted while blocking Raoul's attacks. Who is it? Who betrayed us and taught you this sword skill? Raoul started laughing and replied, you taught me. Yourself. At that moment, Raoul used the dagger to eliminate Jeremy. A status window popped up, displaying information. 100% synchronization. Rank S bonus. Randall Sword Skill Shooting Star. Grade B Mastery level adjusted to Intermediate Level 1. Successfully engraved Randall Sword Skill Shooting Star Grade B into the skill dex. Equip the skill in the skill dex selection slot 2. Use Randall Sword Skill Shooting Star Grade B continuously. Raoul thought to himself, it's over. Using the rank S skill Copycat is hard since it's overpowered. Copycat is a skill I learned with the skill DX that copies the opponent's skill, but it can only copy one skill at a time, and I can't lose sight of the target once the skill is activated. If I lose sight of the target, the examination rate resets. That's why I didn't even blink when I was taking his attacks. Also, it's impossible to steal a skill unless it's a 1 versus 1 fight. Raoul instructed the system, saying, display skill. A window popped up, showcasing the user's skills. Default skill slot. Ashton Vision Sword Skill Bear Crush Grader. Intermediate Level 2. Psychokinesis Grade S Intermediate. Level 2. Ashton Mind Skill Grader. Intermediate Level 1. Copycat Grade S. Beginner Level 6. Basic Meditation Grade E. Beginner Level 8. Skill Dex Select Slots. Flash Grade C Beginner. Level 6. Shield Grade C. Beginner Level 6. Skill Dex Random Slot. Iron Fist Grade D. Intermediate Level 1. Role contemplated. Acknowledging. Thanks to the skill dex, I can use 3 more skills. Selection slots allow me to freely use 2 skills registered in the skill dex. I will use it here. Turning towards Jerry, who questioned, "Who are you? How do you use the Randall sword?" Skill, Role responded, "You're still here. Philip, kill them every time they revive for an hour." Philip acknowledged, "Yes, sir." Everyone heard him. "Kill them." All the knights responded, "Yes, sir." Jerry pleaded, "Please forgive me." Role reflected, "Blood for blood. This isn't Earth or a game. This is the reality that's been presented to me. I have to do everything to not lose it. Again, even if that means wading through a pool of blood, I am not losing." Reynaldo observed the unfolding fight through his window, muttering, What in the world is going on right now?" According to the plan, when those Randall Viscountcy guys attacked that bastard, I was supposed to get my share after mobilizing the gods to help. But that bastard beat up 15 knights on his own. As Role noticed him, he turned and looked directly towards Reynaldo. Feeling scared, Reynaldo quickly sat down to avoid being seen by Role. He thought to himself, how did he find out I was here? Wasn't that bastard just a rich and good-looking pushover? At that moment, Role instructed his knights, "Let's leave." The knights responded with a unanimous, "Yes." Reynaldo continued with his thoughts. "Then, by any chance, is he a hidden swordmaster of the county? If that's the case, he must have figured out all my plans as well. I'll have to be friendly with the Ashton County in the future." Back in his room, Role pondered. "I did overdo it a bit." Suddenly, a quest window appeared, displaying information. Rival Family Challenge. Result, Rescue and Punishment completed. Measured grade, B reward, experience, 30,000 coins, player store only. Random grade B skill book, draw ticket. Role, contemplating to himself, acknowledged. These rewards are quite substantial. In addition to securing on 5,000 gold, I obtained a space-expanding magic bag capable of holding a carriage's worth of luggage. A unique grade Reaper and a main gauche set were also added, courtesy of those scoundrels from Randall County. The real gem here is the B-grade skill book draw ticket. Did I really get all duds from the tournament skill book rewards? Reflecting on it now, that was quite absurd. I don't need something extraordinary, but please, let it at least be a mid-tier one this time. No, I just hope it's not a dud. Please, please. As Role gazed at the system window, it revealed the acquired skill book, Rivera, Spearmanship Grade B. Role expressed, "Nice. Spearsmanship is a necessary skill in my next destination, the capital. My luck seems to be following me, isn't it? Then, there's only one more important thing I have to do in Mira now. I've invested 1 month here for that, and I will make sure to succeed." A week later, Role engaged in combat with an ogre in the cursed forest, successfully killing it. A window popped up, indicating level up. Player Role has reached level 51. You have achieved the level necessary for promotion. You may decide the possible promotion. And another window displaying information. It was confirmed that Role's job was a sword user, and he achieved the status of a beginner psychokinetic. The proficiency of job-related skills, including Ashton family inherited swordsmanship, Bear Crush Grade A+ and Randall Swordsmanship Shooting Star Grade B, was outlined. Additionally, the skill Psychokinetic Grade S had advanced to mid-level 2, a separate window conveyed. You have satisfied the promotion requirements. Your job sword user has changed into sword expert. Your job beginner psychokinetic has changed into intermediate psychokinetic. Philip exclaimed, "That's amazing, young master." Jake added, "That's awesome. A sword expert at 15 years old." To demonstrate his newfound strength, Role utilized his psychokinetic trait, lifting nearby rocks and consolidating them into one location. With swift movement, he rushed towards the gathered rocks, unleashing the skill bear strike in a powerful attack. Roll inquired of Philip and Jake. Should it be like this? Philip praised. That's wonderful, as expected of the young master. Jake, with a laugh, remarked, You can now do this without us. Then, we should also take a breather and relax. However, Jake's comment was cut short by Philip, who countered, What do you mean relax? Think about how much you've got to catch up on to keep pace with the young master. Jake addressed Philip, saying, That was a joke, since the young master has worked so hard. I was just saying that we can take it easy. Philip retorted, In any case, you're all talk. Roll stated, Regardless of whether it was a joke or not, I don't plan on taking a break yet. Philip asked Roll, Then what would you like to do? Jake suggested, Shall we contact the family? The Count will be thrilled. In response, Roll conveyed, I'll tell my family myself later. Let's just keep it a secret between us for the time being. Both Philip and Jake agreed. Roll thought to himself, I've hunted enough monsters and leveled up enough as well. I've laid all the bait out. All that remains is for the prey to take the bait. Now, hurry and move, dogs of the Empire. Roll then said, Then, let's go back now. Both Philip and Jake responded, Yes, young master. The alchemist Nokia addressed his customer, Take care. This marks the end of today's work. The potions are very popular these days. It's thanks to the Ashton County who brought these here. In order to produce potions, monster byproducts are needed. As monsters rarely appear in the cursed forest, I wasn't able to easily obtain them all this time. But thanks to the Ashton County's people who started bringing the monster byproducts, I've managed to produce potions every day now. Moreover, the people from the county visit my village shop each morning, inquiring about the night, offering help, and checking on my well-being. Could that have been Roll? He's a bit peculiar, but I'm grateful. And he's good-looking too. Oh my, what am I thinking? Get yourself together, Nokia. He's only 15 years old, 3 years younger than you, and he's a noble. Nokia arrived at her home and, upon opening the door, called out, Nikki, where are you? Annie is back. While searching for Nikki, she was startled to find a letter pierced with a knife. Retrieving the letter, she read, We're taking your little sister. If you want to save her, don't tell anyone about this and wait for the next instructions. In a fearful voice, Nokia exclaimed, This, please, not Nikki. In her thoughts, she realized that her sister's life would be at risk if they ventured outside the city. Aware of reports on kidnappings being investigated by the city government, she acknowledged the validity of the rumors. Contemplating her options, she faced a dilemma. Going to the city government seemed risky, as kidnappers might be watching. The city guards were unlikely to extend help beyond the city limits. Consulting mercenaries or the adventurer guild would take time. She grappled with the question. What should she do? Recalling Roll's words, she remembered him saying, If you are ever in any trouble, come find me. Nokia contemplated, acknowledging that this might be her only option. I have to go see him. A message popped up, indicating Nokia heading towards Roll. Roll, realizing the situation, ordered his knights to take their positions, stay vigilant, and report any changes. With his directive echoed by the knights, Roll accessed the community communication system. A window popped up, displaying information as Roll accessed Connect Community. In his thoughts, Roll reflected on Link Cafe, a premium member-only information hub he operated in his past life. As a star player, he utilized the cafe to gather valuable information from fans and informants, turning it into an information treasury holding nearly every hidden detail in Connect. Though the cafe still existed, Roll considered it a jackpot, a resource to replace his uncertain memories for better planning. The current window displayed information, now searching for Free City Mirror. Continuing with his thoughts, Roll reviewed, Okay, I checked every quest I could possibly take. Now I have to hope everything goes as planned. His contemplation was abruptly interrupted by a knight announcing Sir Nokia is here. Reflecting inwardly, Raoul pondered, can I change her future? He then instructed the knight, okay, treat her politely. Further delving into his thoughts, Raoul considered Nokia, the bearer of titles like Crazy Alchemist, Blood-Hungry Witch, and Taboo Destroyer. Nokia struck fear into everyone, conducting experiments on humans as revenge against the Empire. Although the Empire was her main target for her chemical weapons, innocent civilians also became entangled. Now, Nokia stood before Raoul as a desperate girl seeking his help. Interrupting his thoughts, Nokia urgently said to Raoul, please help, Nikki's gone. Remaining composed, Raoul reassured, calm down, she'll be fine. I'll help. Explain what happened. Nokia explained, my sister got kidnapped. She should have been home 2 hours ago since the lady next door was taking care of her. Please find my sister. She's just a poor kid. It's all my fault. Raoul comforted her, saying, don't worry, I'll make sure we find her. I think I know where she's at. Nokia pleaded, really, please save her. Raoul assured, I'll let you know as soon as I find her, so stay here. Bernard will help you. Bernard responded, please let me know if you need anything. And you made an excellent choice. Young Master keeps his promises. Philip shared, Pierce is tracking them down. And this, I got permission to operate from Mayor Reynaldo. Raoul acknowledged, nice. A window popped up, displaying information about the raid quest in Free City Mirror. Grade, D2B objective, defeat unknown rogues. Additional objective, rescue hostages and raid the hideouts in the forest. Description, an unknown group of rogues is active in the forest around Mirror City. Mayor Reynaldo has requested a raid on the rogues that have been kidnapping and interfering with trades. Regain peace by raiding the rogues' base. Reward, large amount of experience and coins. Recognition from the mayor, unknown. Raoul inquired, good. Did you give him the list of rats? Philip replied, yes, the mayor said he will reward us for it later. Raoul reflected. He was surprised as well. I gave him the list of rogues hidden in the city. I used the information from my informants and data from the cafe link. I've already used too many resources, so I made sure that there are no holes in our plan. Addressing his knights, Raoul commanded, let's go. The assembled knights responded in unison, yes, sir. Meanwhile, 2 individuals observed them from behind bushes. Simultaneously, in Ashton County, a Golden Bear knight from Raoul's guard named Pierce lurked in the bushes. Internally, he pondered, found it. Judging by the traces on the ground, this must be it. Initiate operation. He then leaped into a nearby tree, contemplating, let's try using the new skill I learned. Detection, phantom magic circles and barriers. Young Master was right. I will have to report this. A window popped up, displaying the message. We will be there in 5 minutes. Reflecting on this, Pierce thought to himself, this reminds me of 5 months ago. Youngest son, Raoul. He was known for his weakness and talentlessness compared to his brothers. Many servants and knights didn't want to travel with Raoul. Even when he was looking for volunteers, no one seemed interested for a long time. When Raoul visited the knights' training ground and started talking to knights himself, he had conversed with Pierce as well. Raoul said, Sir Pierce, you said you wanted to go past your limits. I can help with that. Raoul wielded Pierce's sword himself and started pointing out the issues. Pierce pondered. I did say I want to go past my limits. But how is this kid going to teach me anything? I guess I can try it out. Every move felt smoother. Reflecting on what Raoul had said to him previously, Pierce remembered, it'll be hard for you to learn Bear Crush. Your strength lies in agility, not power. You should try polishing your bow skills. I heard you are a talented bowman. Only a few people know about my bow skill, yet he noticed it. Maybe he's the one who can really help me. I'll follow him. Returning to the present, Pierce concluded, it was the best decision I've made. Everyone who declined his offer is probably regretting it right now. I don't know why he's been hiding his power. I reached the high expert stage with the skill books he gave us and was able to practice my other skills. It would be impossible without him. Maybe today will be the glorious day when he shows his true strength. Spotting Raoul, Pierce leaped from the tree, bowing before him, and said, "You have arrived, sir." A window popped up, revealing information about the unknown rogue's hideout. Grade unknown, size unknown, status, a 3-circle or higher magic circle that interferes with vision. It also had a 3-circle magic circle that interrupts anyone who approaches. The objective was to destroy the magic circle or get inside to learn more information. Observing the hideouts, Raoul mused, hideouts looked the same even in different cities. Cranon Empire's spies were hiding in Mira. Normally, Connect players get quests from starting cities like Mira and receive rewards for killing monsters or rogues. However, there are some unusual rogues, the slave trader who kidnaps people in the city, mercenaries trying to make it big. But the most dangerous of them all is the Cranon Empire's spies, the Imperial Hounds. They hunt players and blackmail them to prevent them from gathering together. They are crucial in late game as well, so I can't let them be. Subsequently, Raoul signaled Pierce to attack. Utilizing his bow skills, Pierce swiftly eliminated two rogues positioned at the gate entrance. Observing the entrance, Raoul contemplated. There's no one near the entrance. I'll dispel the magic circle with the scroll I bought from the shop. Wait, I can see the mana flow. Can I do this? Raoul then infused mana into his weapon and struck the magic circle, successfully breaking it. A window popped up, displaying the information magic circle destroyed. Internally, Raoul noted, "Nice. Now, instead of buying scrolls, I can save money." Pierce directed his subordinates, saying, "Jackson and Nil, lure them like we planned. I'll let you know when to enter." Both responded, "Yes, sir." Meanwhile, Raoul thought to himself, "Nice, I have elite knights here. Let's hunt them all." Near the entrance, Raoul instructed the knights, stating, "They don't need captives. They will hunt them all. Don't forget to use this for the last blow." In response, Jake expressed to Raoul, "I don't understand why we should use this stick, but I will follow your orders. This doesn't even seem to be a task where we need to use weapons anyway." Addressing Knight Pierce, Raoul instructed, "Watch out for us and find where the kidnapped people are. We need to save Miss Nokia's younger sister, Nikki. Prioritize her." Pierce responded, saying, "I got it." Raoul then commanded, "Let's go in," and utilized his psychokinesis trait to open the door. Together with his knights, Raoul entered, walking for a little while until they reached the hideout of the rogues. Pierce employed his camouflage skill to hide himself and moved towards the hideout. After some time, a window popped up displaying information. Pierce has successfully infiltrated the opponent's base. Raoul, in his thoughts, considered, "Good. Let's start hunting now." High cave ceiling and wooden fences spread around. Their levels are around 30 to 31, not much different from regular thieves. Since I've checked the base, I should give the orders. Then, Raoul issued orders to both Philip and Jake, using a gesture of his finger to commence the attack. Swiftly and silently, Raoul and his knights moved, remaining unnoticed by their opponents. The command was clear: kill the enemies present on the wooden fence quickly. The leader of the rogues, upon seeing them, alerted his fellow rogues, stating, "There are intruders. Guard the fences and kill them all." Inwardly contemplating the situation, Raoul recognized the escalating threat. "Their numbers are increasing, and they're even starting to block my arrows," he thought, while concern etched on his face. A rogue, spotting Raoul, urgently signaled, "Over there, shoot him down." With precision, they shot arrows at Raoul, who deftly employed his psychokinetic ability to deflect the incoming projectiles. The rogue who launched the arrow, frustrated by Raoul's skill, muttered, "That bastard," bounced off the arrow. "Hey, get some backup from downstairs. Over there." Panic set in as the realization struck. Arrows don't work on him. Jump on him and attack. The urgency in the rogue's voice echoed through the hideout, setting the stage for an intense confrontation. Meanwhile, Raoul contemplated. I guess I'll have to use this now. Swiftly, he retrieved numerous daggers. In the midst of this, an assailant attempted to attack Raoul, but he skillfully blocked the assault, pushing the attacker away. Raoul harnessed his psychokinetic ability to collect all nearby arrows scattered on the ground. Witnessing this unfold, the opponents displayed visible shock at Raoul's skills. In a decisive moment, Raoul turned the tables, launching an offensive with the arrows and the array of daggers at his disposal, all manipulated through his psychokinetic ability. Despite his onslaught, some opponents managed to survive, adding an element of uncertainty to the unfolding confrontation. Reflecting inwardly, Raoul considered, it's still not powerful enough. I have to exert more force on it to pierce through armor. With determination, he leaped forward to dispatch the injured enemies. In the midst of the skirmish, thoughts raced through Raoul's mind. He questioned the whereabouts of the remaining adversaries. To his observation, Jake was actively eliminating an opponent. Jake then shifted his attention to a second enemy, channeling mana into his Reaper again. With an intense expression, he executed a lethal strike, killing the opponent. Raoul pondered, observing Jake's rebellion against using the rapier. He doesn't have to make such movements that waste mana. Ashton told him several times not to do that to avoid leaving any traces of swordsmanship. But well, I don't think I have to be too worried. Good. We're almost done taking care of the small fries. Pierce apologized to Raoul, stating, sorry, sir. We searched the entire prison, but we couldn't find Miss Nikki. Raoul responded, it's okay. Did you explain things to the captive villagers? Pierce replied, yes, we have distributed the clothes and food, and told them to wait in one place until the battle ends. Jake inquired, but sir, do you think there are other enemies? Aren't they just thieves? Raoul observed, they are, but don't you think it's a little weird? Jake inquired, weird? How? Raoul explained, first, Nikki, who was kidnapped, isn't here. Second, there were many of them, but none stood out amongst the rest. Lastly, there was a magic circle on the entrance. Did any one of you see a wizard here? In conclusion, the important people and captives are in another place. Right, Jake remarked, that's true. But if we can't find that place, it'll all be useless. Don't you think so, Pierce? In response, Pierce mentioned, I actually checked some suspicious-looking places, but I couldn't find anything with my abilities. There could be a high-level magic circle or system. Raoul acknowledged, it hasn't even been a month since you became our guild member. But you are good. Soon, no one will be able to fool your eyes. Pierce expressed gratitude, and Raoul instructed, now, follow me. I think I know where they are. A moment later, Raoul and his knights arrived in front of a hut. Raoul instructed, search this hut. Report right away if you see something suspicious. The knights acknowledged with a yes, sir. After a while, Philip informed Raoul, we couldn't find anything suspicious. Raoul inquired, is this the fourth hut? Noticing something on the floor, Raoul alerted, get ready. The real thing begins now. He kicked the table and channeled his mana into the Reaper, striking the floor with it, revealing a metal door beneath the broken wooden floor. Raoul utilized his psychokinesis trait to open the door. He thought, secret stairs leading to the basement. Looking down the stairs, he remarked, something's coming. A red monster emerged from the basement and attacked Jake. Startled, Jake exclaimed, what is this? Meanwhile, Philip cautioned, don't step away. It will be harder to fight them if we scatter. As a monster rushed forward to attack, Raoul retaliated, pushing it back with his Reaper attack. Philip informed the others, they are the Imperial Demon Cavalry. Their vital points are different from humans. Cut their heads. Jake, surprised, exclaimed, what are they doing in this place? Meanwhile, Raoul considered, I should study their traits first, as he jumped forward and killed one of the monsters. A window popped up, displaying information about the monster. Incomplete Imperial Demon Cavalry, Level 41, Type 1, Cranon Imperial Demon Cavalry. Continuing with his thoughts, Roll reflected, just what I'd expected. I had a hard time in the past because of these guys. Recalling his past life by Doyen, he remembered, I attacked the Empire's hideout in the starting city on my 6th month of playing the game. It was due to the mayor's request when the top players were about to graduate from the starting city. Tens of top players who had finished changing jobs for the second time formed a punitive force with hundreds of guild alliances and took over the fortress. However, when the genuine Imperial Demon Cavalry, who had been concealed, revealed themselves, the majority of players were swiftly wiped out. Even the rankers, myself included, narrowly escaped. For 6 months following that incident, no one dared to approach the Empire's hideout. At that time, the Demon Cavalry was complete, with an average level approaching 50. Naturally, players who had only just reached level 50 found it challenging to contend with them. But now, the Demon Cavalry is incomplete, with low levels. My escorts are expert high-class knights over level 80. More importantly, I can discern the randomly placed vital points of the Demon Cavalry. All I need to do is target those vital points. After a little while, all the monsters were killed by Roll and his knights. Jake expressed frustration, saying, "Those damn monsters." Pierce asked, "Why is the Imperial Demon Cavalry in a place that's akin to the kingdom's front yard?" Philip inquired. "What should we do now, sir? I think it'll be dangerous to go inside." Roll determinedly replied, "We will go in. We can't back out now." Pierce suggested to Roll, "Then we should at least get some backup." Roll countered, "No, the captives will be in more danger the longer it takes. We have to take care of them before they get in touch with the others outside." Philip advised Roll then, "Stay behind us. We will handle the enemies. Just focus on searching with Pierce." Roll thought, "It's a shame, but it's not the time to be greedy right now. I get part of the experience points anyway even if I don't kill them myself. It's my chance to get carried. I've worked hard until now. By the way, it feels so great to have such reliable subordinates," Philip declared. "We will go first," and both Jake and Philip walked downstairs. Peering into the basement, Jake suggested, "We should kill them in frying stool water." Shortly after, Pierce remarked, "They are fearless, doing chimera research in another country's territory." Then the Demon Cavalry we fought, Roll observed, must have been made of the citizens. They kidnapped. I didn't expect them to be this crazy. In his thoughts, he reflected, I have seen these kinds of scenes several times in my past life, but it still creeps me out. Actually, I thought about joining them when I reincarnated because they will be seizing supremacy over this continent in about 10 years from now. But the Emperor is a crazy man. Becoming his subordinate would be the same as jumping into a fire with a bomb in hand. There are many baseless rumors about the Emperor, but I'm sure about one thing. The Emperor doesn't regard humans as equals. Those without royal blood are sorted into classes based on their perceived value, and during a life of labor, they become experimental subjects or food for the Imperial Demon Cavalry when deemed useless. Even high-class citizens face execution if they displease the Emperor. I recall a general who voiced concerns about the Emperor's tyranny. As he spoke with the king, a glowing red tattoo on his shoulder signaled his impending explosive demise. I vividly remember being there. I have no intention of surviving by aligning myself with someone like that, and I cannot condone experiments on innocent civilians. His contemplation was interrupted when Philip opened another door, beckoning to Roll. "Sir, could you come here and take a look?" Upon entering, Roll and his knights witnessed an Imperial knight urgently shouting, "Activate it. We have to secure the exit route." Pierce, utilizing his detection skill, identified the threat. 4 knights, 3 wizards, and 10 Imperial Demon Cavalry. The wizard seemed to be attempting to activate the magic circle in front of the cave. Philip assumed command, declaring, "I will handle the knights. Pierce, take care of the wizards. Jake, handle the Imperial Demon Cavalry that are after him. Please provide backup, sir," Jake remarked. "So you want me to clean up the mess from behind?" Meanwhile, Philip cast an angry look in Jake's direction. Pierce swiftly ascended to a nearby elevated position, employing about to target an enemy wizard and successfully eliminating it. Raoul then directed his knights to attack, contemplating. Charging shot. They're 5 circle wizards. We have to eliminate them first. That barrier. Ordinary arrows don't work on it. I should put some psychokinesis over it and create a psychokinesis pathway for the trajectory. Subsequently, Raoul released an arrow that shattered the teleportation gate and simultaneously took down the wizard. He continued his thoughts. Good, we stopped them from escaping through the teleport gate. The Imperial Knight Commander, noticing the broken magic circle, exclaimed. The magic circle was broken. He swiftly ordered his fellow knights, "Our exit route is blocked. Release the seal and kill them all." In response, the knights fervently declared, "Yes, for our Emperor," while veins appeared on their faces and rushed to attack Raoul. Meanwhile, Philip advanced, successfully blocking their attacks. Observing Philip, Raoul pondered, "Philip isn't enough. The expert high-class knight who is over level 90. A window then appeared, displaying information about the Imperial Knight. Name, McDowell. Level, 71. Job, Knight Sword Expert Middle Class. Affiliation, Cranon Empire. Imperial Hound Mirror Branch Manager. Nickname, Red Hound. Stats, Potential Grade B Class. Unique Traits, Blind Loyalty Grade B, Fear Resistance Grade C. Continuing with his thoughts, Raoul mused. His stats increased. Is that the red tattoos effect? Jake questioned. What is this? Are they all on drugs? Subsequently, Jake sent a message to Raoul using the system chat, inquiring, "Sir, can't I just kill them with swords? I think it will be hard with just this little stick." Raoul replied to Jake via message, stating, "Knight Philip and Knight Pierce are doing fine, but it seems like it's too hard for you, Knight Jake. This plan was made because I trusted your capabilities, but I guess we don't have any other choice." In response, Jake sent message, stating, "What, hard? I just said that because I thought Knight Pierce was having a hard time." He then shouted to the Imperial Knights, "Look what happened because of you. Die, all of you." Observing this, Raoul considered, "I should do something too," and promptly struck down a nearby monster. Witnessing Raoul's swift victory, Jake thought, "That's weird. How does he figure out the monster's weak point so easily?" McDowell addressed the situation, saying, "I didn't expect that we would be overpowered. Who are you?" In McDowell's thoughts, he speculated, since they use Reaper, they should be from the Randall Viscounty, but somehow their swordsmanship looks awkward. Based on my instincts, they aren't from the Randall Viscounty. Jake inquired, "Why does someone who will die soon need to know that?" "If you are done talking, let's start again, you dogs of the Empire." In response, McDowell retorted, "How dare you insult the Imperial Hounds?" As he closely examined Raoul and his knights, McDowell pondered, "Is that kid the leader? I think I have found a way for us to survive." McDowell then shouted, "Give your life for the Emperor." For the honor of the Emperor, the remaining knights transformed into monsters and charged forward. Observing this, Raoul thought, "That's Black Sacrifice, a skill that sacrifices oneself by burning life energy and mana to obtain incredible strength for a very short time. They must be planning something, judging by the fact that they are using that skill." In that moment, a message from Philip appeared, conveying, "Sir, be careful." Simultaneously, McDowell activates his power armor and charged forward to attack. A window displayed information about the power armor. Empire K2E type power armor. Rank, Grady. Output, 0.8 CP. Uptime, 2 hours maximum. Operation mode, Mana Stone Consume. Defense skill, 3 circles. Subsequently, another message from Philip appeared, alerting, "They are after you." Philip swiftly rushed forward, attempting to attack McDowell, whose power armor efficiently blocked the assault. Frustrated, Philip thought, "Damn it." The attack was cancelled out by the force field, and he shouted a warning to Raoul. At that very moment, McDowell declared, "This is over," and launched an attack on Raoul. However, Raoul skillfully blocked McDowell's attack. A little shocked, McDowell exclaimed to Raoul, "What is it this time, you bastard? You were a power armor user." In McDowell's thoughts, he speculated, power armor with shifting parts, judging by its appearance, it should be F-class, but my instinct is telling me that it will be dangerous if the shifting ends. Attempting to attack Raoul again, McDowell persisted. Meanwhile, memories of a few moments ago flooded Raoul's mind, recalling McDowell's initial attack. What happened? I was going to dodge the attack by using the C-rank skill Flash, but a message popped up and I can't move, notifying him of encountering a hostile power armor. Regnator, which was previously dormant, had awakened. Assessing Raoul's qualifications, has a unique trait and known, Grade X, attainment, Sword Expert, middle-class psychokinesis. Raoul had fulfilled the minimum qualification, prompting the activation of Regnator. However, due to insufficient mana for complete activation, Regnator searched for other energy sources. It identified intermediate grade psychokinesis and successfully fixated its shape using psychokinesis. As a result, Regnator had partially activated. Raoul reflected, so this is the power armor, a barrier that blocks all physical attacks weaker than a mana blade, defense skill that cancels out at least 3 circle magic, and a mysterious core that enhances the mana and physical abilities of the user. Even with higher level and experience, you can't win against someone with power armor. That's how great the effects of the power armor are. However, power armor is for NPCs. If you aren't a connected villager, it can't be worn. So for players, power armor became a dream equipment they could never have. For NPCs, it was the only way they could counter the player's outburst. And here I am, wearing that power armor. Raoul's thoughts were abruptly interrupted. What's happening? Why aren't the attacks working? McDowell launched another attack on Raoul, which was blocked, but the impact pushed Raoul backward. Meanwhile, McDowell appeared, fatigued after the last attack. Taking advantage of the moment, Raoul utilized his psychokinesis trait to retrieve his Reaper. Subsequently, he employed the shooting star skill to counterattack. McDowell, feeling the impact, thought, "Damn it, he even broke the barrier. Is this the end? But even if it is, I won't die alone," he shouted, "Honor to the Empire." Observing the scene, Raoul contemplated. His body is fusing with the power armor. Guess it is almost over. Suddenly, a window appeared with information. Regnator has detected a forbidden piece of power. Confused, Raoul thought, what does that mean? Another window provided clarity, releasing part of the seal due to an oath. Shortly after, a golden mana enveloped Raoul's entire body. Then, another window emerged with information. Regnator will show his true self temporarily. Raoul, clad in Regnator power armor, stood motionless. McDowell, taken aback by the sight of the power armor, collected his composure and leaped forward to attack Raoul. Observing McDowell's, Raoul disdainfully remarked, "Disgusting." However, when McDowell's fist collided with Raoul's power armor, a massive explosion happened. The force of the explosion created a shockwave, causing the knight accompanying Raoul to struggle to maintain their stance without being thrown backward. Meanwhile, aided by his power armor, Raoul effortlessly thwarted McDowell's attack. Skillfully, Raoul pushed McDowell backward, creating a strategic distance. In retaliation, a single, precise punch from Raoul proved fatal for McDowell, culminating in a decisive victory for Raoul and his knights. As Raoul's power armor vanished, He reflected. I did it. I barely met the time limit, accompanied by a cough, causing both Philip and Jake to express concern and rush towards him, asking, "Young master, are you okay?" Raoul reassured them, saying he was fine, and contemplated. I've never felt this before, something I've never experienced as a player. It feels like I saw a glimpse of eternal power. I borrowed the item's power this time. One day, I'll reach it with my own strength. After a while, Raoul contemplated. Pocket teleportation device and mana stone. Let's figure out how to use them later. Pierce then informed, "Sir, we found Nikki and the other hostages. There was some, however," Raoul interjected. "There was nothing we could do. Get their belongings so we can hand them over to their families." Pierce acknowledged. "Yes, sir. Nikki's not well right now." Raoul urged. "We should hurry. Let's leave." Jake questioned Raoul. "Are we really leaving those here?" Raoul inquired. "Why? Do you want them?" Jake replied. "Of course. Many of them are useful. That thing's value can't be measured with gold." Raoul considered. He's not wrong. The power armor that McDowell was wearing, I can't use it. But it can prove that we caught the Empire's spies and use it for experiments. The Imperial Hounds weren't easy. They can easily take down small nobles. Many users gave up because of them. There's no need to agitate them right now. It's better to focus on our growth and expanding my influence. Raoul informed Jake. "It's all part of the plan, so forget about it. Also, I finished him." Jake responded. "That's because you told us to stay away." Raoul then promised a bonus for their hard work and told them to rest. Excited, Jake exclaimed, "Bonus and vacation. You can't take it back." Raoul, observing Jake, wondered, is he stupid or smart? He then asked Pierce for a report, and Pierce assured, "We've lured them as planned, and will ensure there's no setback." Raoul pondered, "Let's see what they do. It's obvious, though. I'm curious about the kind of face they'll make after falling for this trick." Ramon questioned the guide. "How far did they go? Hey, guide, are we going the right way?" Frustrated, Ramon thought, "Shit, we tracked him down to this forest, but we don't even see his traces. We had to mentally heal from the shrine and even lost money and swords because of him. We lost to him because we couldn't use mana skills in the city. There's no way we could have lost with 12 knights otherwise. Knight leader Jeremy even has power armor. This is our chance now that he's outside the city." His thoughts were interrupted by the guide, who pointed and exclaimed, "Right there." Entering the hideout shortly thereafter, Cale remarked, "Here, this looks kind of dangerous. I guess we have to go in to find out." Ramon affirmed, "Of course, we came outside the city to find him. Let's go." A few moments later, Ramon commented, "We couldn't find him, but this is pretty nice." Jerry exclaimed, "Magic items, artifacts, and even corpses of wanted people, and the biggest one is this power armor," and all of them started laughing. Meanwhile, outside the forest, a knight addressed Raoul, saying, "Young master, thanks for taking the trouble. We raided a hideout in the East Forest and rescued the hostages." Raoul inquired, "Nice. Where are the others?" The knight replied, "They came here after their mission." Raoul thought, "They are my trainee knights and first guild members. 6 of them went past expert through training, and the rest are ready to be experts. We are getting back the supplies from the North Hideout, West Hideout. Every one of them can use mana and has learned Ashton County's sword skills. With over 100 members now, normal rogues can't stand against us." Raoul then commanded the knights, "Everyone's here. Let's go." The knights responded, "Yes, sir." A little later, at the gate of the Free City Mirror, one of the guards questioned, "Are they the Ashton County's people? Why are there so many?" Raoul inquired, "Are you the captain here?" The captain of the guard replied, "Yes, sir. We've guided the civilians here as you requested." Raoul commended good quests and levels. He acknowledged that he never had a conversation with people unrelated to the quests, Despite telling himself he would live in the present after reincarnating, he recognized that he was still just playing around as if it were a game. This marks the conclusion of the first 4 parts of this manhwa. The 5th part will be posted tomorrow, so remember to like and subscribe to the channel for future update. See you tomorrow with a new episode.